up? Oh, swear. Oh, wait. Sorry. There you go. It's like every time that I have to like condition my hair does whatever it wants. It's like all over the place. You know what? I think I'm just gonna go ahead and put the bandana on now. Let's go ahead and do it. Good evening. What's up? How's it going? You doing all right? There we go. My hair's out of my way. Okay. Yeah, it's been, well, I mean, there's a story I have to tell, but it's for the most part, it's been pretty good. Can't complain. Can't complain. And I'm about to do some work. I'm doing some art stuff, so there we go. There we go. Stir up my tea that my son brought. Is the music too loud? I don't even know if you can hear it, but I only ask because it's different music, so gotta kind of make sure that it works. Oh, that fell. All right. Love them. Oh, nice. Nice. I'm glad. Why are you up? I'm like, why are you up? I'm glad you like them. How do you like them versus the images that you saw? How do they hold up? Like for me that's my big thing, because I don't like pictures and stuff really don't do them justice. Yeah, I think they're a lot better in person. That's why it's so hard for me when people are like, hey, do you have a store? Do you put stuff up? And I'm like, I do, but it just doesn't have the same effect, right? It just doesn't have the same effect. I think they're way better. Yeah, I think so too. You too. And oh, I mean, I forgot. What did we agree on? That I'm supposed to address you as? I forgot. It's been a bit hectic since the last time we talked. Because I know we got Kid. We got me, Kid, So. Nah, that's right, Mikey. That's right. Mikey, that's right. Like the Ninja Turtle. Remember. Now I remember, Mikey. But, once again, why in the world are you up? Isn't it like 3 in the morning again? Do you not sleep? I mean, don't get me wrong. I would much rather... I think that if I didn't have kids, I would also be staying up a lot later. But because, you know, we got to get them ready for school and all that good stuff, it kind of forces me to go to bed. Because I think most, not all, but most artists are night owls. So it's kind of in our nature to be like, oh no, we just stay up. But I'm always curious as to when other people decide, they're like, no, we stay up too. And like, but why? It's so late. I mean, I want to say thank you very much for sticking around with me, but today's your free day. Oh, okay. Well, I'm very glad that you got your Versus cards and that you still like them now that you have them in hand. I'm glad that you still like them. I'm supposed to be, and I think I mentioned this before, but we're supposed to be doing another set. We're gonna be doing team ups So yeah, it's kind of gonna be the same idea, just as team ups, and the hits are different. So we're gonna be trying something a little bit different, but a new set should be coming soon. We're gonna be working out the details here in a little bit. Oh, that's a good one. I don't know that person. But I'm glad you got it. The Gambit Bishop one was one of my top faves from the set that I did. Oh my goodness, I still got to get a list together from oh, sorry. Hey Aaron, I'm sorry. I don't have the multi-stream up thing. What is the Black Dragon character arcs? Right now, his main thing is vengeance. Like, that's it. There's nothing pretty about what he wants to do. He wants to go in and murder people. Anyone who had anything to do with the death of his family. And I mean, like, anything. If you were the person who held the banner flag, he's coming after you too. But there are, of course, some people who might be able to squeak by because you can't be everywhere. You know what I mean? Like, you can't be everywhere at once. So, or period. So there's a good point, or a good possibility that there are going to be people that had something to do with it but never get found, right? Which is something that I really want to push on later in the story. And so, you know, there's so many possibilities, so many possibilities. So, but how you doing, Aaron? You doing all right? Kind of snuck in on me. It's gonna be fun. Anime, movie, TV shows inspired you to create Ninja Empire. So the main thing that inspired me first was Canon Films Ninja 3: The Domination. That movie was just, that was it for me, right? It's a horrible movie. It's a horrible movie, but man, it was one of the first movies that I watched with my dad, and it just captured my attention. It really touched on the supernatural aspect of ninjas, and I was like, heck yeah, right? And that's just movies, okay? Then after that, I would say that Ninja Scroll, because Ninja Scroll is absolutely amazing. And then lastly, I would say, oh wait, no, that one can be thin. This one cannot. Lastly, I would say Ninja Assassin. That one was a good one too. I haven't watched Naruto yet. I haven't watched it yet. And what's up, Skip? How's it going? Yep, I haven't watched Naruto, and I've been told that I should just sit down and watch it. I had some initial issues, right? He wanted me he wanted to be the Pokemon trainer of ninjas. He wanted to be the very best, and I'm like, all right, cool, I can get down with that. And then he's like, look at me wear all orange. I'm like, dude, all orange? Like, you were in an orange jumpsuit? Come on, man. Come on. I was told I needed to get over it. Oh. Well, yeah, you better get on that then. There's a justification for it? Oh, I don't want to know. Because I'm like you already mentioned, like, it's so cringe. I'm like, oh, I don't want to know. But oh, okay. But for argument's sake, what was it? What was the justification for him wearing orange? Like, I know our kids. That's horrible. I do actually. I do thumbnails for my art. Sometimes, depending on what it is, it'll be very, very simple. Like, here, let me see if I can change to the full face. Alright, so like this one right here, that's the thumbnail for the piece that we're working on right now. Right? So sometimes it's very, very simple, and then other times I'll actually flesh it out further. But you'll see a lot of thumbnails that I do, especially for comics, are just kind of ideas and stuff like that, and then I'll sketch things out on the board as needed. But if there's ever a time where a comic page was, or a drawing that was really, really needed some thumbnailing, I would do that, and then I'd make it more detailed thumbnail. So yeah. No, we don't need to do that. Stop sticking to the pad. Dad's blonde, mom's a redhead. That's still funny. Note that he's after meeting mom's spirit inside the Fox Demon. Both the parents have been dead since. Oh. Horrible. This is unconsciously hereditary. Favorite G.I. Joe character? Easy, Storm Shadow. Or do you mean, do they have to be a good guy? He's my favorite as well. Yeah. I really wish they would write him a little bit better, though. I mean, I know everyone loves Snake Eyes, even though he's like, oh, he's the best ninja. I'm like, Snake Eyes is not a ninja. But anyway, you know, that is definitely a hill that I'm going to die on, probably by myself. Because, you know, they retconned everything, and it was like, no, he's a ninja. It's like, he was a commando. And since G.I. Joe was completely about toys when it first, you know, G.I. Joe was a whole toy thing, and especially in the 80s, right? They, everything that was geared towards kids, cartoon and whatnot, was totally based on the fact that it would be a toy, right? And throughout time, so they had this G.I. Joe character already, Snake Eyes, who was completely black, right? And the funny part is why he was completely black was because he had no money. Right? Hasbro was running out of money, or their budget fell through, and so they're like, we can only color 5 out of the 6 figures. Which one, you know, is gonna be okay? And they're like, well, this guy's a commando, he should be fine, right? And that's why Snake Eyes was all black in the first initial figure, right? Then after that, in the 80s, when ninjas became like a hot commodity, they're like, which one of our characters can actually, you know, because we can't afford to create any new characters, who can we make and who can we write into the story as a ninja? And so they retconned Snake Eyes' story so that he could be a ninja. And if you look at the early file cards for Snake Eyes, right, the first ones said Commando on it, because that's what he was, right? He was Commando. Then he became a Ninja Commando, because they couldn't just be like, hey, look, we just made him into a commando, right? So he became a Ninja Commando, and then eventually he just became a commando, which, you know, I don't care for. And Snake Eyes is really cool to draw. I like drawing Snake Eyes. I'm not even gonna lie about that. But I think Storm Shadow is better, which is, you know, and which I think is awesome. I think Storm Shadow is awesome, but the problem is the way he's constantly written. It's like, that's too bad. All right, what's your favorite Transformers G1 character? Also easy, Soundwave. And like, easy one, Soundwave. These are easy questions. What's that? Oh, Jazz? Jazz was pretty cool too. Cobra Commander was a worm commander? What? I mean, I know he was a used car salesman. That was his origin. He was like a failed used car salesman, and then when the movie came out, he was a snake person, which was also interesting. Snake person. Megatron? Yeah, but see, outside of that, I kind of like Starscream's character, because he was always trying to be the leader, but he just kind of sucked at it. And he was always double-crossing and manipulating, and yet he was still the number 2, which is, I mean, Megatron had to see something in him, right? Like, there had to be something that Starscream was bringing to the table that allowed Megatron to keep him, right? And it would be really cool to have a story where we actually find out why Megatron kept him around. You like Transformers Prime, right? Oh, really? Well then, looks like I got more watching to do. Because that would be, who's the most overrated characters in Transformers G1? Overrated. For me, I would have to say Bumblebee. Right? What? just what? Optimus Prime? I don't know. He pulls his weight. Like, Optimus Prime pulls his weight. You know what I mean? I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand overrated and whatnot, but he never, he backs it up. You know? You know what I mean? Hey, Miss Ebony. No, we're not alone today. Mickey from freaking Italy is here again at 3 o'clock in the morning. Being awesome as always. He does, but to the point where 4 characters. Yeah, that's true. That is true. That's very true. I can see that. Oops. But I don't know, man. Soundwave, he was always a big deal. Had a lot of popularity. Yes. So, you're doing this wrong. Okay, true. That would be a good one. That would be a good one. I think there's a lot of stories that could be explored that never get explored, mostly because, you know, it was cartoon shows, so they didn't have the time nor the money to go deep into stuff like that. But you think that they would have started covering it in the comics once it became more and more for an adult. All the kids from the 80s are now, you know, have kids of their own, and they're like, here's some stories for the kiddies, right? And then here's some stories for you. Like, your story would be an interesting one to explore. Favorite character from Voltron? Which one? Old school, new school? Is there, yeah, there's a difference. Actually, I guess not really, but yeah, there's definitely a difference. I don't know, man. To be honest, I thought the second, like the newer version of Voltron, was better than the old one, right? And the reason for that is because everyone had the ability to like show off who they were. The old school Voltron, I'd have to say that it was Haggard. Like, she was probably the best. Yeah, I would go with Haggard for old school. Both Autobots and Decepticons, and I said that would be awesome. Like, yes. Hurry up and make this Transformer skip. It's like, stop playing with my emotions. Oh, really? Oh. Okay. Okay then. Well then. Okay. Alright, you got me. I was like, alright man, you got me. Okay. So I had to okay, so I have to tell you guys that I'm really trying to finish these last 2 pages relatively quickly, and if only, my goodness, if only I had freaking laptop, right? If only I had one that worked because I could do a little bit of this stuff at school, right? But the thing is that I ordered the concept book again, right? I had to get it reordered because, well, over with freaking Planet Comic Con and then the HBCU Con, I actually sold out, right? So I didn't have any more. So I was like, all right, well, I need to hurry up and get it so that I don't so that I have something for MegaCon. I'm not MegaCon, for AwesomeCon, because I can't go there with no book to buy. And so my old printer doesn't do that anymore. You know, like I don't print books anymore. It's like, oh, well, that blows. So then I went to this company that was recommended to me by a different artist. And, you know, so I was like, man, I really hope that we're going to be able to actually get this in time. Like, that was my biggest concern, was that I wasn't going to get it in time, right? Because generally speaking, it takes forever to get these kind of books done, or so it seems. And so I sent it off, and I'm like, all right, it's a month out, we should be good, right? In 3 days, they had wrote me, and they're like, hey, we've shipped your books. I was like, what? So I was like, in 3 days? You mean to tell me that you got through the production in 3 days? Okay. Which leads me to believe that if I can get this done by mid-month, I can still have this for MegaCon. And that's what's important. I won! Apparently I won. Oh my goodness. You should totally come to Luca Comics and Gamings and hear an order. The organizer should invite more artists from the USA. That would be a blast. Okay, so Mikey, 100%. Oh, I didn't win. Miss Ebony won. Oh, well, if Miss Ebony won, hold on. It just said my name, and I was just like, wait, I won? That seems unlikely. Miss Ebony won, you know it's cheated. But if you know the organizer, or if you want to go talk to the organizer, if you want to go and drop my name to the organizer, I will happily, not just a little bit, but happily come back to Italy. Like, I haven't done a show in Italy, but I've visited Italy a couple times. So I know the Italy, and I mean, I don't speak Italian, but I do speak German, so maybe we'd be able to talk to each other. I know that most Europeans know how to speak English, but I'm just saying, I will gladly come. Gladly. Also, you want designs that look like actually make sense. Okay. If you weren't in the mood for another Wacom device, I totally recommend either the Surface Pro or Microsoft Surface Laptop Studio. Okay, so I had the Surface Pro laptop, right? In my old job, they bought one. And they're like, here you go, you can have this, right? You can have this one. The screen, the one that I had, right? The laptop version, the screen was like soft, like it was a hard plastic. Oh no, the new ones. Oh, okay. They fixed. The pens I didn't have a problem with. I had a problem with the like the screen was soft. It was a soft screen, and I felt like I was gonna poke through it. I was not happy with that. The Surface said the Surface Pro 8. Okay, like I said, I don't know. All I know is that that one did not work for me. But I see lots of people with the Surface Pros, with the Surface stuff, and I'm like, man, seems convenient, right? But here's the thing. It's not that I was set on something, it's that they're giving it to me. You know what I mean? That's the big thing. I will use anything you give me. You know, and if it's like poopy, I'm like, well, I tried. You know, it's like I'll try anything. I'll try anything at least once. Pens are a little small. That happens sometimes. Oops. So yeah, but I will keep you guys updated as far as the books go, because if I found a good printer, all of you who need to know, right? If you're like, oh, I need to be able to print books, I'm like, well, I found the place, because they do sketch covers, hollow covers, they've got all kinds of stuff that they offer. They can also do art boards, stuff like that. So like I said, if it's any good, I'll definitely be letting you know. Nothing like finding a good good printer. I could do that in October for sure. I'll be there with my family. Nice. That would be awesome. Like I said, I would not mind coming in 2023. Not even in the slightest. Expand the downside of the pencil a little small. Save that info for Fulcrum and Pulse Up servers. That's fair. It is true. I don't know, did I post it? I think I already posted it in the Fulcrum server. I think I already posted it. Nope, I didn't. I posted the super sticker place that I found. That's the one. Yeah. Yep. Posted for stickers. Yep. Did you see the updated scribbles that I did? I called them scribbles, but I was spending some time on it. Because I'm trying to think that maybe we need to, I started thinking about shapes, keep it more abstract and kind of fool the eye a little bit. So I'm still working on it though. Yeah. Well, we need to, the big thing is that we need to well, I'm not necessarily trying to overgrow the fulcrum, right? Like, I want that to be a tight-knit group. The bottom right? Yes, see, that's what I was saying, yes! If you're allowed to say it, for the new boxes, the team-up ones? Yes. Like, yes, what would you like to know? I can tell you that one of the people that's going to be there, one of the characters, or one of the team-ups, is going to be Fred and Barney. Fred Flintstone and Barney Rubble. Because there's a certain person who has requested it, so... So we gotta make that happen, you know? Troop. Is there, would you like me to do a team up? Because right now I'm taking suggestions. Because right now I'm waiting on the cards to get to me, so. Hands. So I have a mission for every convention that I kind of go to this year, which is to try and make a contact with someone that, you know, I either not necessarily didn't know, because it could be with someone that you know, but to actually get a business relationship, like a business venture or something out of some people at the convention. So like the last, not at HBCU Con, I really didn't try because I knew everyone there. You know, like I knew everyone there. So I'm thinking like at Planet Comic Con, my connection was Jason David Frank, right? So, you know, so it's like, all right, so that was my contact, or that was the networking contact that I wanted to make. So at AwesomeCon, I gotta see who's gonna be there, because it's now become an official challenge, I guess. I don't know if challenge is the right word, because I'm not really trying to be like, oh, let me see if I can get important people, because it doesn't necessarily mean that anything's gonna come from it. But you know, I've been like, for instance, I've been dealing with Jason for many years, right? And I never actually asked him for an account to do any extra work, right? I just saw him, we were friendly towards each other and all that. And at this last convention, I was like, hey, how can I contact you? You know what I mean? For work, to try and do something else. And then I got a separate email, right? One that's not, hey, this is what's on my website. Here, go talk to me on my Instagram. So how'd it go this time? How's the game?
Spanky said not only are they mad that they got annihilated, but they said that Rush was stupid.
Is that the one where you get to just rush all the way down to the bottom? Yeah. It's a bit strong.
It's supposed to be.
Yeah, but then doesn't it just reset? Like, doesn't your person go all the way back, or is it just that one person?
Yeah, it just moves up and stays there.
It's a bit strong. So that's gonna be your like super rare card?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, given you could just like play something in front of it.
Well, yeah, but what if you don't know? Like the last time when you played the Minotaur and I had an open slot, and you're just like, I place him here.
That's because there's no instance yet.
And I was like, dang.
I don't have any instance. I don't have any way to stop it. But eventually there will be.
Okay.
I wanted it to be really good. I wanted it to be a very strong ability. So,
Okay.
like, just kind of, like, you have little things like the Reapers that just go and quick things. They're not very strong. They're running to the extra damage. But I still want to spanky tags with them. And I was like, that's stupid. But yeah, eventually there will be a way to counter it. Why does Sean have magic?
Does he have magic? What do you mean?
Oh, never mind. It's not magic.
I was like, I know he got Pokemon cards today.
Yeah, it's just, it was like red, blue, green, white, and black. So I was like, why does he have magic cards? But it's not. It's electric. It's not white. Overall, Spanky said my game is 10 out of 10.
Well, that's good.
Isn't that right, Spanky?
So Skip, I've put 2 invites out to people, and not a single one of them, nothing, to the Fulcrum. And I was like, really? Nothing? Not even a, what the heck is this? Just a outright denial. I was like, dang, okay. Yeah. I was like, alright. It's okay. Because the thing is that with that, and that's the thing, because I know, like, right now there's 4 active people, right? And which is fine, because keeping it small is one thing, but I'm like, once we start moving, right? No, I haven't, like, that's the thing, I haven't heard anything from them. So, but it's like, once we get moving, and I'm hoping that, you know, there might be, you know, some unification on posts, not like challenges, but what I mean is like the logo, right? So people will see it and they're like, what the heck is that logo? You know, and it's like, oh, and then we can make a post about, hey, where this, you know, the Fulcrum is this, because I want people to know about it, but I also want them to know that not everyone's getting in on it, right? And it's like almost like an elite group and stuff like that. So I'm not too eager to be like, hey everybody, why don't you come join us? It's like, hey, no, we're gonna, because the main thing is like, none of us yet have asked for like post boosts, right? Now granted, you know, if it's us and there's only 4 of us, that's like 4 shares, right? But that's 4 shares. And then think about it, if we all of a sudden get 20 people, and the whole idea is that we don't abuse the share option, right? Then if I come in and I'm like, hey, you know, can you guys boost this? And then there's 20 people, that's 20 shares. I can tell you right now, I don't get 20 shares on my stuff. But this way we can go, these 4 people, I know for a fact, if I say, hey, I need a share, you know, can you please go to this thing and share my Kickstarter, my picture, my Patreon, my whatever, it's gonna get done, right? So it's like we're helping each other to, I'm not gonna say cheat the system, but, you know, help, because I don't know about you, man, my engagement has gone down drastically as of late. And it's not because of lack of posting or anything like that, it's just, I don't know what's happening, but when you go from always hitting like 100 and some likes to, you know, I think I have a post right now, it's got like 26, I think, you know, I was like, what the hell? And then it's like, well, you know, when do you post? When do you... And there's no real update as to when to post, so let's see. Well, that one got 44. That one's got 32. Alright, so somewhere around the 30s is where I normally sit right now. At this point in time, I post more stuff, more concise stuff, and it's like you get 36 likes, and I'm like, but like, but that doesn't make sense. Like, well, this is what you get this. And I'm like, but so, you know, so yeah, it's like I want it to grow, but I want it to grow with the right people, right? Kind of why I don't float with Facebook owned platforms anymore. Yeah, I know, but Instagram's huge. Instagram's huge, and Elon Musk owns Twitter. I'm like, I don't know where to go. And then, what was it? Ooh. Oh, it was Sticker Mule hit me with, hey, we want to try this. There's this new social platform called, oh, what was it called? Not Stripe. Maybe it was Stripe. Not the payment plan, but I don't know. It was something. And I'm like, uh-huh. And it's like, you need to verify something with the photo ID. I'm like, well, that doesn't sound like it's anything I want to be part of. In order to be part, we need to know your government everything. Like, nah, it's alright. And it might be the next big thing, I don't know, but that really put me off when they're like, yeah, you're gonna have to verify with your ID. It's like, I still wish that, I still wish that there was a possibility to get a art focused streaming platform, right? Like, it was meant for artists. Like, someone came together and was like, hey, this is what we want to do. Sadly, I think I need to get back onto DeviantArt, because I'm still surprised that they are kicking. And there are so many professionals who are like, oh yeah, all my stuff's on DeviantArt. It's like, on DeviantArt? Really? And it's like, yeah. And then I keep seeing people and they're like, this stream is sponsored by DeviantArt. I'm like, really? I wouldn't mind being sponsored by DeviantArt, but I know I don't post there enough. And I'm just like, I don't know, it seems weird. Strangely, Casey Jones and Negan. Cheetah and oh, we can't. Oh, it's not. I think the way that they kind of have it set up is like it's actually team ups, not like not crazy. You know, it's like, hey, we're gonna put these two together, but it would be like Batman and Robin, Fred and Barney, yeah, Thundar and Ookla. Thundar and Ookla, the mock. Okay, not a crossover thing. No. I'm thinking that maybe one day, because they're like, hey, you know, they're always telling me that I can come up with ideas. And for me, I'm going, ninjas, right? Just do the Ninjaverse. And it's just a whole bunch of different ninjas through pop culture. I think it would be awesome. But there might be like the dream team, right? And then you do those kind of crossovers where you're just like, you know, it would be awesome to see this person and that person. Yeah, like a DeviantArt. Yes, exactly like a DeviantArt stream platform. I talked to them years ago. Right. I was still in Norfolk, so 3 years ago. About 3 years ago, I was talking to DeviantArt, and you know, I reached out to them, and they were talking, and they got me. They're like, "Hey, just restart," and I got started back up. And the process over there is a lot, you know, it's a lot simpler. and stuff like that. So it's like, all right, it seems, you know, better. It's not really, it's not hard anymore to upload your stuff, and it looks way more professional and stuff like that. So I was like, all right, we'll give it a chance. And then I did it for a couple posts, right? And still like, it still feels like I'm gonna have to put in a ton of work just to get noticed again. And so I stopped, right? And that was my fault. I should have kept going. But while I was talking to them, they were like, yeah, man, we're trying to work on that. We're doing like a beta test on some of our streamers or some of our content people. And I was like, oh, how do I get in on that? And like, oh, well, you just got to be more active. And I was like, all right, you know, so there was that kind of thing. And I'm just like, guess I missed my opportunity with that. But I'm thinking about going back. I'm gonna reach out to them and just be like, hey, so I've been gone for a while, I'm sorry, but I would love to build this partnership. Tell me what I gotta do. This is what I'm working on, you know. Let's see, you could post your stuff on DTube or Odyssey, you know, and build this up as free speech. Oh my goodness, no, Mandala, stop, please stop. Strange that they didn't think about it. Well, maybe it would be too expensive. See, beforehand it was too expensive, but they got Wix money. You know what I mean? They got Wix money. You know? You probably talked to DeviantArt before they were... No, it was right after. Actually, right after they right after they got bought by Wix, they were like, yeah, so we got Wix money now. I'm like, all right, cool. I was like, I like the idea of Wix money because Wix got money. And now you're saying that that's when they became terrible. They sponsored the entire... Yes. Oh man, I even brought that up. When they sponsored San Diego Artist Alley, it was some of the best time. The seats weren't crappy, right? You could actually submit your own artwork, right? Like you could submit your art and it would be playing on the jumbo screens and it would rotate, you know, like artists. So you always had an opportunity to have your work shown. It was so good. And then they just went away. They just went away. And I'm like, no. And they were like, yeah, it's so expensive. And I'm like, I was like, yeah, I mean, I get that, but still, that's what I'm like, that is what I was talking about. Like, that was awesome. And then, once again, we become the redheaded stepchildren of everything. And we get busted chairs, no space. Just like, you know, I've been told, like I'm going to San Diego this year, but I was told that next year I gotta pay for the table. And I'm like, but I need to find out if that's full table or half table. Not that it really matters, because it's not. I mean, unless this year is like gangbusters good, it's not gonna be worth it. Unless it's gangbusters good. The Amazon, Disney, Plus, Sky, and so on. Some kind of Artverse sponsored by their platform. Buy and discover new art. Oh my goodness, that would be amazing. I would love to be on a platform that did that. Come on, be part of Disney Plus is like, just, oh, that would be amazing. I think it would work better with Amazon, because Amazon would allow you to do more of your own thing, if that makes sense. So you wouldn't have to draw like Disney. You could just come in and be like, hey, But yeah, it's just an art platform because we are not considered. You know, it's just like, oh, you're a happy byproduct that we get to, you know, benefit from. But outside of that, we're not. Like, if you look at Twitch, right? But then again, it's not like they did anything. Because Twitch, right, when it started, it was, in fact, for gaming. So it's not like they were like, hey, we're for everybody, yay! And then they're like, oh, gaming makes the most money, so screw the rest of y'all. They didn't do that, right? So they didn't do anything wrong in that sense. It's just that once we got here, it was like, well, we would kind of like to have the same treatment. You know, like, could we please have the same treatment at least? And it was like, no, we're gonna continue to push everyone towards gaming. And you're like, well, nothing I can do about that. It is now on the Elfwood side of the spectrum. ArtStation. This was bought by Epic. That is true. But the thing that I have about ArtStation, it's very elitist. If you don't draw a certain way, if you don't paint a certain way, you're never going to get noticed on there. Because they always populate with like the same stuff. I don't know, looking at what's going on with Netflix and Disney Animation, the answer is independence. No money or power, yeah. Outside of the art outsider, Harvey is friend zone. You're right. No, you're right. And I think it's because most of the people, right, most of the active people are all young, like they were young and just learning how to draw, right? So it was like, you guys aren't that good, right? But they were everywhere. And it was like, no, right? And there were so many of the young people. And it was like, well, there's so many of you. And it turned away a lot of people. What do you mean? Was there a lot of not safe for work on DeviantArt? Or was it you can't do non-safe for work? You get rid of it. Oh. There's not really? I thought DeviantArt had a very strict, yeah, no do that. What was I thinking? I could have swore they're like, nah, man, we don't play that. Really? Huh. Interesting. Did not know. Here comes the gross and sad part. What? So, huh. Interesting. Just weird. Didn't know. Oh, huh. Okay. Well, I mean, and I know that Picarto is trying, you know, they're like, we're the art platform, which is cool, but it's not all not safe for work stuff. But the thing is, if you come in and you're like, hey, I'm doing character design, you get like 4 people maybe who got lost on your stream. But then you got people who are drawing the crazy stuff, the not safe for work stuff, and then you know, they've got a quadrillion people, which once again, I don't think is the problem of the platform. It's just it kind of banned itself or branded itself as a platform where you know, it's like, oh, all that is good, we're not going to censor you, you know, like we're not going to make it so that you can't do what you want to do as an artist. And it does turn people away, right? Like credibility wise, like there might be people who are like, man, I would really love to support fill in the blank person who draws Spider-Man or whatnot, and then they're like, well, I stream it on Picarto, that's what I do. And then, you know, they get on, it's like, whoa, my parents can't know that I'm on this site because they'll think I'm doing something weird. But it works for them because the unspoken rule is that if you have a problem, that kind of stuff, especially when and where everyone else is not to be that stuff, you become the main platform for that stuff. And it's fair. It sucks for them because, yeah, they can do about it. Kind of a brand at this point. Yep. It organically became predominantly a certain kind of art. Exactly. Right. And that's the thing. I'm not going, oh, it's their fault, like they've done this themselves. But you know, it is what it is. And then we're like, well, now what? You know, like where do we stand now? And it's just, it makes it really hard for someone who may, you know, they're like, I'm trying to break in, I want to do the streaming, because a lot of my students only arts a lot of our students, they're like, well, I don't want to stream. Or some of them are like, I want to stream, but I can't just, I'll start streaming and stream to absolutely no one because it's odd. And I'm like, I mean, I get it. Trust me, I did it for years. You know, that's during that time where I didn't tell anybody. But it's like, you know, it's sad because that is the way, right? Most people, that's what they want. They want to see you doing the work, right? And they want to interact with you and stuff like that. But the problem is that you're not going to get found, right? Like there hasn't been a way to organically be found when you just start, right? No one has that platform where they're like, hey, these people are, well, no, that's not true. I think Picarto does, where they're like, these people are new, right? Go check them out. And they have a section for, these people have very low followings, you know, it's a very small stream. Why don't you go check them out? So I think Picarto is trying, but then, you know, we're still right in that same situation. It's Picarto, so while they're probably doing things right, they've been branded, and Twitch used to do a lot of things. I remember when there was an actual, like there was an art section, right? I know that now everything's just kind of broken up into pages, but there was an art section that was sponsored by Adobe, right? And they had streaming scheduled just for that channel. It was great. It's where a lot of people made their name here on Twitch. And what's funny is how watching them, right? So watching them as Adobe was here and they were doing all the streaming stuff, and they would, you know, you go into their channel when they were streaming on their own, and it was like, what up, Knight? Strike hard. Strike first. Strike hard. But watching them have 50, 60, 70 people in their stream to watching them now, and it's like, oh, they have like 20 people. You know, on a good day, they've got 35. And you're like, what happened? And while I follow some artists and they've got 100 and something, you know, like, it's like, that's cool. But these people were like your premier, you know, we're getting paid to be art streamers by Adobe and stuff like that. And you're like, oh, nice. That's the dream, right? Like, oh, we want to do that. And then all of a sudden it was gone. And then all of a sudden nobody remembered anybody. It was crazy. I mean, it's just crazy to watch, you know, because I'm like, you used to be huge. Like, we could never talk to you because you had so many people in the stream, and now you have nada. So I'm gonna go sweep the leg, Johnny. What's up, Knight? How you doing? You hanging in there? Return on the money on our stream. Oh no, you're right. You're I know why they're not doing it. Yeah, because there's not a lot of return, because not a lot of people really. The people who want to see the process really want to see the process. The other people don't. Like, there could be a full-on company that's going, hey, we're gonna show you exactly what we're doing, right? How we make toys, how we do video games, we're going to do it from scratch or whatever, right? And very few people would show up. And I get that, you know, but those who did would be like, oh my goodness, this is amazing content. But it's not as lucrative as some people playing video games. Yep. What you do is through subscription and ad-based model, and art buyers generally don't want that either. Yeah. Just making fan shorts. GigaCon version 1. Remember you had the turnout for the first year? Yeah. Yeah. No, I remember. Trust me, GigaCon was a sad start from the first time. Wait, did I miss something? For the reason I wanted to do video essays and do okay. Costs in GigaCon. Wait, I'm lost. If I could make a living just making fan shorts, costs in GigaCon version 1, I remember you were not happy with the way things turned out the first year. No, absolutely. I was not happy the way things turned out the first year. And I mean, and that's the thing, you know, you gotta. But here's the thing, I wasn't happy. Everyone else was just fine. I think that's the difference, right? Whereas the person who was putting it on was going, this wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. There were things that went wrong. This didn't happen. That happened wrong. And everyone else was like, oh man, this was good, right? And then of course students didn't see the value in it. They didn't. You're right. You're right. They did not see the value of it. And the bad part is they, because I'm that kind of stubborn teacher, I was like, oh, you will see the value because I'm going to keep shoving it down your throat. Because this is something that I didn't necessarily get when I was in school, right? Because people would always try and fight you for your space, or it always went to the grad students or something like that. But it's like, no, you need, this experience is something you need. It will benefit you wholeheartedly, but you need to do it. And it could have backfired like completely, because it may have been the same way the next year, and then I probably, next year and the year after that, and then maybe I would have been like, you know what? If you don't want this, fine. I'll keep my little black book to myself. Say I was one of those students at the time. It's all good. Right? But I mean, that, to be honest, it's like it's a student thing. Like, I get that, right? Why should I go here? I don't understand. Until other people in your peer group are going, what? You didn't go? What are you, stupid? Why wouldn't you go? Isn't this what you want to do? Do you know who these people are? What are you doing? Right? Because then it's your peer group telling you that you're stupid. Unlike your parents, or your teachers going, are you freaking kidding me? Like, why would you miss this opportunity? So, but I mean, it seems to be everyone, that's just a thing. So, yeah. It was, well then, I stand corrected. Yeah, I was livid. I was pretty pissed. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Do you know what's going on here? Like, you have no idea. And then we started forcing people to go to conventions, and we're like, you go try and talk to somebody. Go. Try and do it. And then it was like, wait a minute, we don't have the same opportunities we do as we did with GigaCon, where they were just right here in my school, and I can get 15-20 minutes with them by myself. What? So the CTA 1 year, because a lot of people the year before that year said that it was a better place to network and talk to, and it was terrible. Oh really? I've been wanting to go to CTN for so long. Really? I still hear that it's like, it's amazing for networking. That is sad to hear. That's really sad to hear. And how you, oh really? Oh. Really? Mostly for students, you say. As a pro, not so much. Huh. Interesting. Well, then that would have been a waste of time. Oh, you die now. Do a lot of studios, buy a lot of books. The year I went, okay. I got to chat about Powerhouse before they became Castlevania guys. Yeah, but did anything come of it? You know what I mean? It's like, that's, if I go to a networking event, I want something to come from it, right? I don't want to just go to be like, I got to talk to the freaking Hasbro. It's like, yay, I got to talk to them. And so what? Maybe I'm just becoming bitter in my old age, but if my sole purpose is to network, then something should come of it. At least that would be my hope, Am I wrong for that? I mean, on one hand, yes, you do have to know you get something out of it. The issue, I think, is that this kind of CTN base is extremely focused on a Disney 12 Angry Men style. Oh, that's sad. See, and that's the thing. Like, it's so hard to find a something that allows anyone to come in and be themselves and still get some type of attention, right? Because even it was suggested to me as I was doing a whole lot of independent stuff. It was suggested to me that, like, well, you should go to Small Press Expo. And I was like, well, I would love to, but it's juried, right? It's juried, and I'm not fanzine enough, right? I'm too mainstream, or at least my style is. It doesn't matter that I'm doing all this on my own. It's just my style didn't fit for what they wanted, at least at the time. Things may be different now. They may be different now, but when I attempted to get into Small Press Expo solely because I was like, well, I'm an independent dude trying to do all this by myself, so this convention would be the best to go to, and it's right in my backyard, so why wouldn't I go? People are coming from all over to come to this place. And I got the, all right, Mandala, and I actually got the, oh, you're too mainstream, you don't fit what we're doing. And like I said, it may have changed since then, and I might want to try and do it again. You know what I mean? Try and get in to try and sell to independent. But I think I really need to go one year. You know what I mean? Like, I need to go and see what the scene is like. Because I don't know. Because if it's all like, you know, basement dweller fanzine stuff that I printed up in Kinko's, which, you know, doesn't exist anymore, but you all know what I'm talking about, right? I'm sitting at home with my stapler, not even a long arm stapler. I'm sitting here with my own stapler, cutting out pieces of paper. And that's it, you know, like, and that's all I get, that's it. And it's these weird political drawings of people and stuff like that, and it's just like, haha, this is what you get. You know what I mean? It's like, well, that doesn't work for me, so. Now it's more Tumblr webtoons-ish. Really? Okay. I don't know, I might get lucky then. You know? Maybe it's like, hey, I can actually get in. But it's one of those ones where I'm like, should I be trying to get into that? Because webtoons, you know, it's all anime now, or mostly. Yeah, I don't know what made me stand out as being too mainstream. I don't know. No clue. But yeah, I was not allowed entry as a person. I mean, I could have bought a ticket and got in, but it's not where we were. No, look at that. It's almost done. What time is it? It's 10 o'clock. We've still got about an hour left. We might finish tonight. Been doing a lot of talking today, and I'm here for it, man. I'm here for the good conversation. So thank you everyone who's been talking with me. I mean, I would love to do just more local cons and stuff. I actually like the local cons way better than some of these bigger, ginormal conventions. Because at the smaller cons, right, there's more opportunity to interact with people. And because it's smaller, everyone kind of, you know, everyone will come around and at least gawk at your table, right? And be like, oh, I wonder what this is. And you know that at least everyone is going to see it. Whether they stop by and do anything is completely different, but they'll at least be willing to look, you know? And I think that's way better than sitting at like a San Diego knowing there are hundreds of thousands of people at that show, right? Hundreds, or not, I guess tens of thousands would be better, because it generally tops out at like 120. So tens of thousands of people are at that show, and you know, you only get a handful. I think this year, depending, I'm gonna actually keep a tally for how many people stop at the table at Artist Alley. You know, might just start a tally. And just to see, because it's like, I don't know. Just to prove a point, right? Like, yeah, San Diego's huge, and when you see it, it says, you know, 100,000, 120,000, but how many people are actually coming by? And while I know that they're, you know, it's like, yeah, well, other people are more popular than you are, that's why they're going. Yeah, but when you have 120,000 people, and you only see like 100, you know what I mean? You're like, that's like a fraction of a percent. It's like, come on now. Come on. And then people are like, whoa, we bring in 100,000 people. You need to pay us 200 and some odd, you know, like, you need to pay us like $500 for a table. And you're like, how am I supposed to make that back? And they don't care. You know what I mean? They don't care. They're like, whatever. That's not our problem. That's your problem. It's gonna be so funny drawing this person's death. I mean, I think it's gonna be fun. Yeah, the math don't add up. No, it really doesn't. Thanks for letting me know. Thanks. You're the awesomest. You know what? I'm gonna run this 1-minute ad. Try and make some faux sense. Been at it for an hour and a half. Thank you guys for hanging with me. For those of you who are not subscribed, I'm sorry. It's gonna be 60 seconds of ads, so hopefully like one. Not doing the 3 minutes anymore because it always caught people and turned them away. So 1 minute. What was that? You gonna die. I think we see that she's about to die. Death. Well, it seems as though the whole cease and desist thing was real and has been taken care of because I took the video down. So that was it. That's all it needed. So, for those of you who don't know, I got hit with a cease and desist today. Well, it was one of the angriest cease and desists I've ever seen. Because it wasn't like, hey, you're in violation of copyright, you need to see... There was no legal jargon that was on it. Like, hey, you need to... it's like, you need to... stop using this because it is in violation. We're gonna give you X amount of time to rectify this problem, take this down, blah blah blah. They were just like, this is in violation, we've told YouTube, which they didn't, because I had no strikes on my videos. But they're like, yeah, we've told YouTube about this violation, and you need to take it down immediately, or we'll sue you. And it was like, well, it wasn't immediately. It was, you have 48 hours to take this down, or we're gonna sue you. They're like, we'll take legal actions, and I'm like, geez, okay, like, why I gotta be like that? No, you're gonna no, he's gonna get it. Oh, you're dead. Oh, I blew up. Oh my goodness, Mickey. It's like, Mikey, why? I'm gonna give you angry ninja faces. I like the... Yeah. Yeah. What was the violation? The violation was I showed too much of the book. So it was for the shelf. right? It was for the shelf, and apparently I showed too much of the book, and that's bad. And I was like, but it's a book review. It's a book review of freaking art. Like, you know, like, but it's a book review of art. Like, why? What? They're like, yep. Because at first they weren't trying to tell me anything. They're just like, you're in violation, take it down. And I was like, what did I do wrong? Please tell me so that I can, you know, I want to represent this book because I think it's a good book and I think people should know about it and stuff like that. And you know, eventually they came around to, after much probing, they came around to you showed too much of the book. And they're like, yeah, we don't have a problem with the review. Like, if you were to show 5 to 12 pages, then it would be fine, right? But anything more than that, we have a problem with. And I was like, okay. And I'm like, all right, fine. I already took it down, right? Because I am not getting sued. I am not getting sued over some stupid book review. You know, I was like, I'll take it down, no problem whatsoever. And then, you know, I did pose the question. I was like, you do know that there are a whole bunch of other people who have done book reviews, some of which have done straight up flip throughs. You know, so it's like they're showing every single page. I skipped through lots of it because I was like, I ain't got time for this, right? Because it was so much. And I was like, so are you going to be doing this to everyone, or was it just me? I mean, I had a hidden message in there, you know, that they definitely avoided completely. And I don't know whether or not to poke, you know, to like keep at it and be like, yo, why did you take mine down? Or why did you force me to take mine down, but you didn't force these people to? And for those of you in chat, you know what I'm getting at. Or you should. Like, you know what I'm getting at. But you know, like I said, when I don't know if I want to poke the bear, is because I want to wait for like 2-3 weeks and then go back to YouTube and see if the other videos that I've found have been taken down. And if not, be like, hey, so I mean, I'm just looking out for you. I don't know if you are aware of this, but there are, you know, there are X amount of other people who are doing these flip throughs of your book. And if mine was a problem, this person just was like flippity flip flop pages. So you might want to take care of that as well. But I really think that it had to do with me, for some reason. Was it the publisher? It was. It was indeed the actual publisher. I didn't think it was at first because of how it went down. I thought it was kind of odd. You know, but I was like, all right. I actually went to their site because the email seemed a bit fraudulent. So I actually went to their site and was like, hey, I received this message and I want to make sure that it was from you. Because if it was from you, then so be it. All right, we can talk about me having to take it down. But if it wasn't, I figured you'd want to know that someone's, you know, copyright trolling. But they wrote back and they're like, no, that was us. Take it down. I was like, whoa, okay, like, no need to freak out. I got it. And they're like, nope. Like, take it down. I'm like, okay. Take it down or we gonna sue you. I'm like, all right, you don't need to keep telling me you're gonna sue me. Not that important. not that important. But yeah, it was kind of sad too. It's just like, this company actually has a new book coming out soon in Kickstarter. And since you can ask questions, I'm going to be like, yo, it was like, yo, just wondering, I want to get this book, but I want to know if I can do a book if I'm allowed to do book reviews. And when they go, yeah, of course, we love it when people review our stuff. And we're like, well, are there any guidelines to what, you know, what's allowed, page-wise, blah, 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 blah. And then when they come out and be like, no, not at all. That's when I come back and be like, hi, so I got this from you guys a couple weeks ago. How is it that we can get all the hype for here, but I did this on this one when I got the book, and all of a sudden it's a problem? Why is that? Is it because it's me? Is it because it's me? Yeah, no, yeah, I was hyping the book. The only things that go on the shelf are the things that I would actually recommend to people. It wasn't like, oh, this is a book review, you know, like, oh, we're just reviewing all kinds of books like I do with Is It Worth It? Like, oh, this could be a problem, this was kind of poopy. No, any book that came out from the shelf, or came out on the shelf, the series, was something that I was recommending. Like, you guys should check this out. This is something that everybody should have. And it's like, okay. It's like, no, we're not doing that. Okay. So, it was sad, but it happened. If you say nothing, I guess. I mean, it was really odd because that thing's been out for months, and what's really crazy is how other ones, you know, like they've been doing reviews, and they did a review and like, hey, this book is awesome. You guys should look into getting it, and it's 7 years old, and you're like, oh, like come on, what was it? What was it? And it's like, it's like, you know, I know. Shrink that one down a little bit. So I think for Ninjaghist, I think we are definitely going hip hop. So I know for sure I'm gonna have Busta Rhymes in there, right? Because he's important to me. Busta Rhymes, I was told that we need to do Jay-Z, and Eminem needs to be in there. Then Lil' Kim needs to be in there. I know that, you know, Wu-Tang has to be in there for sure, right? Any other suggestions? I mean, there's all kinds of people, but no idea what you're talking about. So I do this drawing prompt called Ninjaghist, right? And with Ninjaghist, because it's my prompt, I'm the one who makes the prompt. So I've done things for like Bugs, from Bugs to ninjafying X-Men, you know. And this time I wanna ninjafy rappers, right? Rappers and hip-hop artists, and make them all ninjas, pretty much, right? And so it's like, well, which rapper should we put in there? And so that's currently where we're at. And like, which one should I put in there? Whoops. Lord, look at how big that sword is. What's wrong with me? I always have a problem with that. Doing the actual size of the sword, the handle. I tend to always make them too big. And what's funny is, like, I always look at them, I'm like, man, these are too small. Right? And so then I make it bigger. And then when it comes time to do finishes, I'm like, what? The handle's huge. So I think I'm gonna have to go with my first instincts and be like, no, okay, this is the size we want. Stop it. I'm trying to write. Yeah. Go. It's like, oh no, it got quiet again. End of Wednesday stream. Quiet strikes again. Mass jump. Hey Skip, do you know who has the rights to G.I. Joe? Because I know that IDW, is it IDW? Yeah, IDW has lost the rights. Did they ever announce who got them again? Do you know? Go. Tilt this down just a little bit. So, the happy sauce. I know, just like, I'm outies. It happens. It's like, it happens. "30 minutes. Okay. So how was your day today, Miss Ebony? As you were worried about me when you came in. It's like, oh, thank goodness you have someone to talk to. How was your day? Tiring. It's understandable. Sorry. Line weight. No. My day was pretty good. Cannot complain. I mean, what happened? Nothing much. Nothing really. Things went well. Ordered pizza for dinner. You know, kids were happy. It was a nice day outside. Eventually, because it rained like crazy yesterday. So. I started getting stuff that I've ordered for the convention and stuff. So I sold my kunai, and then I bought these. Right, they're plastic, but I bought these because it makes it easier. And then I realized that I got really big hands because this was like adult size, and I'm like, this is so puny. Like my hand covers everything, even the circles that are supposed to stick out on the side. My hands cover them up. So I'm like, these tiny things, but this is for the display, so it's all good. I don't have to worry about people trying to steal my stuff. I got my spinner displays over here. My books are coming. I got little ninja stars and stuff over there, so yeah, it's like it was good. I'm like, today was good. Oh, dude, they didn't try and cover it up. They just like, screw it. I hate that. Right? And it was like, whatever, here you go. We put it out here in the pouring rain. It's like, come on, guys. Like, try. You know, that's what that boils down to. It's like, come on, guys, just try. Try to think if Amazon delivered your package and did that and left that mess out in the rain. Like, come on, guys. The only good thing is that Amazon, you know what? You'd be like, look, it got delivered and it got ruined in delivery. I'm gonna send this crap back to you. They'll be like, all right, you know, they'll at least like hook you up and be like, all right, you know. And I would like to say that they're getting better at like packaging stuff, but they're not. You know, it's like they're really not. They're just like, oh, yours was in plastic? Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Because normally when I get books, they get rained on. Guess what, people? It's rained on. You know? It's like paper's all matted together and stuff. You're like, well, guess we're not using this because like there's a book that I bought off Amazon that got rained on, and while everything is dry now, I still have yet to even attempt to read it because I'm like, every time I see it, I'm like, man, some horse poop right there. So I'm not always happy with this. Is not Amazon. I'm just not always happy with the delivery people because they just don't care. And I get it. I mean, they're not necessarily getting paid tons of money to care, but still, you know, it'd be nice. Be nice if they cared a little bit. Oh, what's special about that one? The bad part is I see the Ohuhu sketchbook that I got, the marker sketchbook, and I'm so excited to try it out. But then I'm like, oh, but it seems so nice. I don't want to I don't want to mess with it. I'm like, but it seems like it would be so nice. What am I gonna put in it? Am I gonna do, you know, am I gonna put nice stuff in it? Like, am I gonna try and do finished work all the time, or am I gonna treat it like a sketchbook and then just know that if I want to do markers, it's gonna come out really nice? Like, what am I gonna do? It's another watercolor book. Okay. Yeah, I gotta get back to practicing. Yeah, the large one. Once you told me, it's like, oh, they have sketchbooks, marker books. I'm like, what? And then I went off and bought one. I was like, heck yeah. Oh, because you said it was 11 by 17, and so I was like, heck yeah. I love an 11 by 17 book. I need that in my life. And so I went and bought it, like, instantly. So now I'm just like, ooh, what am I gonna draw on here? I took mine out of the box, at least. But reminds me, I gotta apply for a seller's permit from San Diego. Ugh. No more sketchbooks needed. Well, so there's some sketchbooks that I have that I'm like, all right, I've been trying to use them because they're, you know, they're the ones that I made, or I had made when it was just Copic paper, right? And I knew the people who were bringing in Copic, so I'm like, oh, I'm gonna use these, right? Well, the binding doesn't work on these. Like, I snapped the spine of every single one of them. See? I snapped the spine of every single one of them. And it's like, so I think I have like 4 of them that I've started, kind of, you know, and I'm like, all right, these are gonna be my last ones. I have a lot of them. I'm probably just gonna give them to the kids, because if it snaps with them, it doesn't really matter. But I'm like, man, can't keep having these snapped spines. Hall H, what's up? If you're hiding, lurking, love my lurkers. sketchbooks together and see the damage. No, just means you're gonna have to start working through them. See, that's what I started doing. I'm like, all right, I bought the 11x17 one because I was like, I need to have this, right? Like I didn't want that to come and go and then disappear, and then I was like, so like that, I had to buy that. But I have not bought a sketchbook in a long time because I'm like, I have so many sketchbooks that I need to get through, and that's my plan. Is like just over the next couple years, just use the sketchbooks that I have. So that's the plan. And like I have these, like I want to do, and I think I might start doing it here. It's like incorporating like raffles and stuff. You're working on 5, yeah, it's about the number that I have going on right now. But to kind of have like a sub goal or something like that, and then send off pages of sketchbooks and stuff. You know, here's original art live from the sketchbook. Like, what am I gonna do with it? So what are you putting in your raffle? I mean your sketchbooks. Freudian slip. Like, do you have separate sketchbooks for certain things? Like this one's hands, this one's feet, that kind of thing. Too much going on. Inks, watercolor, pastel, color, smart. Oh, okay, nice. Separated by medium. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. The battle royale is starting. Here we go, final round, let's do it! Yep. Yes. I win. I win. Take that. I win. No. Tis not rigged, you lie. Maybe 5. Select, modify, subtract 5. You know, wins the battle royale. Definitely. You know what? Fine. And I was like, hey, you're back. No! There you are. What do you mean all these wins? I normally never win. I'm always the one calling out the rigged. Like, 'cause I normally never win. I have been getting a series of good luck, I guess. But generally speaking, I'm not the one that wins these things. I mean, I don't even know. I have no idea what number I have, if it even counts me. You know what I mean? I have no idea. Fill in the burn stuff. Do, 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 do. Do, do. Is there a common slogan? There is not. We'll be here on Sundays. Or on Sunday. Filling in the burnt stuff. Oh, hardened hands. They're good markers. I mean, I can't deny the fact that they're good markers, but they're way too expensive for what they are. And they destroy pretty much every single freaking fine liner except for microns. Everything else got just obliterated by the alcohol combination that they have going on. So it was like, don't let the fine liner dry. Let it dry enough. I give everyone the same amount of time to wait. Mostly because I'm doing the whole, I'm looking at it in the convention sense, where it's like, all right, I'm not gonna let it sit here for 24 hours because I don't have the time for that. And you let it dry. I'm like, all right, I only made one line, right? I made one line, and then I just kind of let it sit there for a minute while I make the other lines, and then it's go time, you know? Like we don't have time to sit here and let you think about whether you're gonna work. And like I said, the microns worked just fine, but everything else was just like, nope. So I don't know. You say they work with yours. Which ones are you using? Always a question. You know what I mean? Okay. And that's the thing, like if I have to wait, like I said, if I gotta wait for too long, it's not beneficial. Alright, now I know you said time's up. I know, I saw it. Just a sec. Combo, microns, Ohuhu. See, I haven't picked up the Ohuhu ones yet still. But the Copics, man, Copics, at least in my experiment, the Copics were like, heck nah. Like, it didn't work at all. It just smeared everywhere. It's like, oof. just doing this one. And then we'll call it quits. Just gotta fill this in. I'm still in my meeting, so I don't have audio, but if you're leaving, have a good weekend. Alright. Yeah, we're about to leave. Good luck with the meeting. Yeah. Like, we're about to leave. I guess I'm going to ask now, is there anyone on that you guys have that we should raid? Alright, because that's coming in. We're just going to rotate this up. And like I said, we got the hard stuff, character thing, making it all nice and crisp and stuff. So we got all that nice and cleaned up. Now I think the easier stuff is going to happen. So probably tomorrow morning I'll have this page finished. And then I'm going to go forth and ink the other ones. Or the other page. So that we can just stick to colors and hopefully get those knocked out by next Wednesday. And then I can put everything together and send it off. That's the hope. Maybe even do rush shipping just to make sure that it gets here in time. Because right now we're on the 4th. We might be able to get it in. Alright, well, thank you guys so very much. As always, it's been awesome. Thank you for hanging out with me, especially on Wednesday. We had some good conversation. Had a lot of people in here for a while. But as always, thank you guys so very much. It's always a pleasure. And born a ninja, die a ninja. Don't forget our stickers. I already posted the thing in, right? I gotta wait for the vote. Gotta give you guys a couple days to vote. And then probably on Monday, I'll send it in on Monday, right? Because I'm waiting for the other stickers to get here. They told me they were shipped. So I'm waiting for those to get in here. I'll make sure to put all the whatchamacallits together. And then if on Monday, then by the end of the month, we'll have both stickers and I'll send both of them out at the end of the month. All right. But since we have no one to raid, good night. I hope you have a good week. And I hope to see you guys on Sunday. All right. See you later.
The Ninja Empire is supreme, dominant, and unstoppable. Our ninja spirit is fueled by fire and driven by razor-sharp determination. When we take on a mission, we must succeed or die. Our style is unique and deadly, and no one wants to suffer the wrath of the Ninja Empire.